Hello and welcome to SGPN's The Daily Dog. I'm your host, Britton Hess. I'm here with my favorite Underdog fantasy pick-em plays for Thursday, February 27th, 2025. If you're new to Underdog Fantasy, sign up promo code DailyDog. That will get you a 50% deposit match bonus worth up to $1,000. Best deposit match bonus out there. Daily Dog on the Underdog Fantasy app or on UnderdogFantasy.com for that deposit match bonus. All right, there's tons of other bonuses happening on Underdog right now too. I'm thinking these are national. I mean, I don't know if this is just select accounts or what, but I'll just read through them real quick. Because if you haven't opened your app today, you definitely should, even compared to other options for making some picks on player props and projections. It's going to be tough to beat what Underdog has out there. So 50% profit boost for an NBA entry, 30% profit boost for college basketball, 30% soccer, 30% NHL, 30% tennis, and a 30% boost for the Nuggets-Bucks game as well. So you got options, baby. If you want to juice up any of these entries, you have an option to get it done here. Let's start out with the NBA. Let's go with NBA entry number 1. Paolo Banchero higher than 22.5 points against the Golden State Warriors. Very big difference between them and the Washington Wizards. Golden State Warriors. Banchero has been playing very well. I like wings, forwards, centers, guys against the Warriors to get a lot of points. I know that there is, kind of a, like a defensive aura around the Draymond Green, but guys have done plenty well against him. Banchero is averaging 23 points per game. Last game against Cleveland, he had 26 in a loss, 19, 21 in 2 home games before that, but at Atlanta, he had 36. So 2 out of 4 since coming back from the All-Star break. Banchero again. I think after the big loss they had, their stars, him and Franz Wagner, are going to have a good game. But this is just a really good number on Banchero, higher than 22.5 points. Then I'm going with Max Christie of the Dallas Mavericks, higher than 13.5 points. Christie let us down last time on our entry. We got hooked. But you know what? I think that this is a very good matchup against the Hornets. The Hornets get blown out. Christie should have plenty of minutes on the court today. So give me Max Christie higher than 13.5 points. That is a straight up 3x multiplier. Next, we're going to go with LeBron James higher than 24.5 points. I don't know if you guys have been noticing, but since Luka has been there, LeBron has been scoring. Last 4 games, 26, 40, 25, 27. I think 24.5 points is on the menu. 4 straight. I know he's a game-time decision. He's always a game-time decision, so don't let that get to your head. The Lakers have been playing good with their new man, Luka. So give me LeBron higher than 24.5 points. Keep the scoring going for the legend there. Then Nikola Jokic higher than 10.5 assists on the road at the Bucks. We'll see if he has a scoring game or not, but I think that they're going to have a pretty full complement of guys out there who can score the basketball for the Nuggets. That means lots of guys Jokic can pass it to make a shot. Jokic is averaging 10.4 assists per game. That's not exactly breaking news, but the thing is, though, recently he's been getting lots of assists as well. 19 assists against the Pacers. That hopefully that continues and we get a pretty much a snoozer here and get this thing done early, and then we're just sweating out LeBron points later in the evening. 3.15x multiplier for that one. All right, let's go to NHL number 1. Stuart Skinner, higher than 2.5 goals against. I just do not like, I don't think Stuart Skinner is all that good. I know he's, maybe played a little bit better this year overall than years past, but Panthers, I think, are going to be crushing in this spot. I think that it's a great spot for them to beat up on the Oilers. Higher than 2.5 goals allowed, just a very low number. I think, this is potential to be a higher scoring game. Maybe it's played tight because, obviously there's the Stanley Cup, the Stanley Cup history with these teams. But I expect 3 goals or more on Skinner from the Florida Panthers. Pairing that with Troy Terry, higher than 0.5 points. Troy Terry, Ducks are hosting the Canucks. I think the Ducks are very alive in this game. Give me Troy Terry higher than 0.5 points. Point leader for this Ducks team. Last several games, he's got an assist in 3 consecutive games. Let's see if he can keep that up or maybe even get a goal here. This is a pretty conservative 2.21x multiplier. But at the end of the day, it's about winning and making that number go up in your account. So you got to do what you got to do. And sometimes you got to play the lower hanging fruit. NHL number 2, this one's a little bit bigger. Rickard, Rakell, higher than 0.5 goals for the Penguins. Pens have just been awful offensively. I think that this is going to be a circle the wagon spot. They've lost 2 in a row to the Flyers. 2 of their last 4 games have been losses at Philadelphia. Now they get Philadelphia in their own building. They need to score some goals here. Rickard Rakell has 25 goals on the year, leading goal scorer for the Penguins, getting a nice multiplier there. And then I'm pairing that with my guy, Macklin Celebrini, higher than 0.5 points, higher than 0.5 points as they're on the Sharks are on the road at the Canadiens. Celebrini just need a point there with Rickard goal, 3.62x multiplier, makes up for some of the short number on our other entry in the NHL. Just one college basketball entry today. This one's also very conservative, but not a ton on the board that I really like. I'm going to go with Vlad Goldin, higher than 1.5 turnovers against Rutgers. Whenever you got a big guy like him, you got in the turnover number so low, it's worth playing just because it's hard for these guys to ball handle. Obviously, errant passes and everything else can factor. Vlad Goldin for Michigan, higher than 1.5 turnovers at home against Rutgers. And then Mitchell Saxen of St. Mary's, higher than 1.5 assists. He's done this in 3 consecutive games, very low number. I think that St. Mary's is going to be just fine in this game versus Loyola Marymount. Saxen, higher than 1.5 assists. Get it done early. Get it done in the first half for us. 2.16x multiplier. Again, nothing jaw-dropping there, but at the end of the day, it's about winning, not just making a big slip for the hell of it. Tennis entry, number 1. We are going to go with Beatriz Haddad Maia, higher than 0.5 sets lost against Rebecca Shramkova. This match has a flip of favorites. Shramkova went from the underdog to the favorite here, from like plus 110 to minus 125. Haddad Maia is in very poor form right now. Higher than 0.5 sets lost for Haddad Maia. It should be on this slip for sure. And then Emma Navarro, higher than 20.5 games played. I believe Emma is just not in great form right now. I think that this match is going to be a dragged out 3-set affair against Petra Martic. Martic has actually been playing pretty well right now. So I would not be surprised if Martic, wins this match outright as a pretty solid underdog. But I definitely think we're going 3 sets, maybe some TB. But there's going to be a lot of breaks of serve in this match. So higher than 20.5 games played, I think it's a 3-setter. So that's what I'm taking that's what I'm taking with Beatriz at Haddad and Maia, higher than 0.5 sets lost. Again, 2.16x multiplier. Nothing too fancy there. But again, it's just very, very very low-hanging fruit based on how I see these matches going. Tennis number 2, Tomas Machac, higher than 22.5 games played against Leonard Tien. Leonard Tien is having an awesome season. The young American is turning some heads. I think him and Machac are going to go 3, so higher than 22.5 games played here. And then Alejandro Tabilo, higher than 3.0 breakpoints, 1 against Federico Correa. I think that this is going to be another 3-set match on clay. Lots of breaks to serve. Give me Tabilo higher than 3.0 breakpoints, 1. This is a 3x multiplier with Machac higher than 22.5 games played. Combine, I threw in an NFL Combine one here. Obviously, don't go crazy on these because there's a lot of projection here, but I took Cam Scatterbo higher than 40 times faster than 4.6 seconds. I think he's going to run in the 4.54-ish range. That's literally just eye test and watching a lot of football over the years. That's what my guess is for his 40 time. No advanced stats, nothing too fancy. And then Ricky White, that 40 times faster than 4.48. Small guy, quick guy. When you got time to train for the 40, you can really do numbers. I think Ricky White, isn't going to be like the 4.3 top end speed, but I think 4.45, 4.44 is definitely in the realm of possibility for Ricky White. That's just a 3x multiplier. All right, next up, let's go to the Lotto entries. Lotto entry number 1, Miles Bridges higher than 20.5 points. This number has creeped down after he had a couple poor scoring games. LaMelo Ball back in the lineup, so people think that the ball is going to hawk the ball, but that should also open up things for Miles Bridges higher than 20.5 points. Alex Ovechkin higher than 0.5 goals. This guy's got the best nose for the net in the NHL right now, and he has for about 15 years, maybe more. Nick Suzuki higher than 0.5 assists as the Canadiens host the Sharks. I think there's going to be some goals scored by the Canadiens here. Suzuki, great assist man. And then CJ McCollum higher than 3.5 3-pointers made for the Pelicans. This is the one that juices up this slip. It's a little bit of an alt number. Instead of 2.5, I'm going 3.5 here. 15.22x multiplier, or if you flex it, 9.13x/2.28x if it goes 3 for 4. Lotto number 2, Samuel Ersson higher than 3.5 goals against for the Flyers. I said the Penguins need to score some goals here. Ersson played really well in the game a couple days ago against this team, but the Penguins, again, are going to be throwing everything in the kitchen sink at him today. Samuel Ersson higher than 3.5 goals against. Brad Marchand of the Bruins higher than 0.5 points. I think the Bruins are in a solid spot here to, one, get the win against the Islanders, and then two, I think Marchand is just going to be involved in the stat sheet because he's quite often involved in the stat sheet. Mikko Rantanen higher than 0.5 goals. I think a nice home win for Carolina is coming. I think Rantanen is going to remind them why they traded for him. And Nikola Jokic higher than 2.5 3-pointers made alt over here. But again, I think that he is going to be shooting quite a bit in this game versus the Bucks. 20.38x multiplier, 12.23x flex, and I need to double check what the other thing is. A little bit, slightly less. Like 2.26x flex if it goes 3 out of 4. All right, that's all I got for you today. Thank you for listening. Sign up for Underdog with promo code DailyDog if you have not done so yet. And if you're an existing member, get on there. Check out all the boosts that are happening right now. Let's make some money.